God does not choose at random. His decisions are not based on luck, favoritism, or chance. Every chosen one has been positioned in such a way that they align with His divine plan. You did not just stumble into this calling. You were not simply lucky to be set apart. You made God choose you, and that is something truly remarkable. Congratulations! This is not an ordinary moment. It is a confirmation that your faith, your endurance, and your heart have been seen by the Most High. You see, God watches in ways no human ever can. He looks beyond appearance, beyond the surface, beyond what others assume. He sees into the depths of the soul, into the corners of the heart that no one else can access. He saw something in you that made Him say, this one is ready. This one is mine. You may not have always felt ready, but you remained faithful. You may not have always felt strong, but you kept going. You may not have had all the answers, but you trusted that He did. That is why you were chosen. Being chosen by God is not about status, popularity, or being the loudest in the room. It is about purpose. It is about being set apart for something greater than yourself. When God chooses someone, He does not look at what the world values. He looks at what is within. The world may choose people based on power, wealth, or influence, but God chooses based on heart, obedience, and faith. And He saw in you a heart that was willing to listen, to learn, to grow. Perhaps you have wondered why your journey has been different from others, why you could not blend in, why you never truly fit into the crowd, why certain paths were blocked for you while others walked freely through. That was not rejection. It was divine redirection. That was God setting you apart before you even knew you were chosen. There were moments when you questioned why things had to be so hard, why you had to endure struggles that others never seemed to face. But now, you see that it was all preparation. You were being shaped, molded, refined. You were walking through fire, not to be destroyed, but to be strengthened. Every challenge, every hardship, every test was not meant to break you. It was meant to prove you. And you proved yourself in ways that the world may never fully understand. When others turned away, you remained. When others doubted, you held on to faith. When everything seemed to be against you, you chose to believe that God was still for you. And because of that, He set you apart. This did not happen overnight. This was not the result of one good deed or one moment of faith. This was the result of a lifetime of choosing to stay close to God, even when it was not easy. This was the result of unseen battles, silent prayers, and unwavering belief. This was the result of surrendering to His will, even when you did not fully understand where He was leading you. You made choices that aligned with His plan. You walked in faith when there was no visible path. You chose righteousness over what was easy, over what was popular, over what was convenient. And God saw it all. There were moments when you felt overlooked, times when it seemed as though no one recognized your efforts, your sacrifices, your devotion. But God was always watching. When no one else applauded, He was taking note. When no one else valued your faithfulness, He was preparing your elevation. And now He is saying, well done, you are ready, you are chosen. This is not a small thing. This is a shift in the spirit, a moment of divine confirmation. This is a sign that you have stepped into alignment with your true purpose. The world may not understand it. Some may question why now, why in this way? But it is not for them to understand. It is between you and God. It is a result of everything you have endured, everything you have sacrificed, everything you have chosen to believe in. It is proof that faith is never wasted, that obedience is always rewarded, and that God's timing is always perfect. You see, not everyone is willing to go through what you have gone through. Not everyone is willing to remain faithful when nothing makes sense. Not everyone is willing to keep believing when they have every reason to give up. But you did. That is why you are here now, stepping into this divine moment. That is why you have been chosen. And that is why this is just the beginning of something greater than you could have ever imagined. God saw the preparation you went through, even when you did not realize it was preparation. He saw you when you were in the midst of trials, when you were fighting battles that no one else could see. You did not run from the fire. You stood in it. You did not take shortcuts. You stayed on the path. You did not waver when doubt crept in. You stood firm. That is what made you different. That is what made you stand out. That is what made God choose you. Many people pray to be chosen, but not everyone is willing to endure what it takes to be ready. Many people want the blessing, but few are willing to go through the process. You did not just pray, you persevered. You did not just ask, you aligned yourself with God's will, and in doing so, you made yourself ready for the calling that is now unfolding in your life. This moment is not a coincidence. It is the result of everything that came before it. It is the evidence of God's faithfulness in your life, of His hand guiding you even when you did not realize it. Every hardship, every closed door, every delay was not a setback. It was a setup for this very moment, a setup for your elevation, a setup for the purpose that is now being revealed. You may have felt unseen, but God always saw you. You may have felt unworthy, but God knew your heart. You may have questioned if you were good enough, but God already had the answer. And His answer is this: you were not only chosen, you were prepared for this. You were shaped for this. You were made for this. And now, it is time to step into it fully, without hesitation, without fear, without doubt. Because when God chooses, He equips. And He has equipped you for something beyond what you can even imagine. Every chosen one goes through a period of refinement, a season of tests that separate them from the rest. You did not just wake up one day and find yourself in this position. Your life has been a series of trials that prepared you for this very moment. Every hardship, every moment of doubt, every tear you shed in secret was a test to see if you would break, if you would fold under the pressure, or if you would stand firm in faith. You may not have realized it at the time, but God was watching, not as a distant observer, but as a divine protector, ensuring that every struggle worked together for your good. Some people only see the outcome, the elevation, the blessing, but they do not see what it took to get here. They do not see the loneliness, the nights of questioning, the moments when it felt like everything was falling apart. They do not see the sacrifices you made, the friendships you lost, the times when you had to choose between what was easy and what was right. They do not see the battles you fought in silence, the times when you wanted to give up but chose to keep going. But God saw it all. He saw you remain faithful when it would have been easier to walk away. He saw you choose integrity when deception could have given you quicker results. He saw you hold on to His promises even when it looked like nothing was changing. You did not just pass these tests, you overcame them. You walked through the fire and came out refined. You faced opposition and kept your spirit unshaken. You endured betrayal but did not let bitterness consume you. That is why you are here now, standing as proof that perseverance and faith always lead to divine reward. Your tests were not to punish you, but to prove you, and you proved that you are ready. You may have wondered at times why certain people were allowed to hurt you, why you had to go through pain that others never seemed to experience, why you had to be isolated while others moved freely. The answer is simple. God was setting you apart. He was making sure that you would not be influenced by the wrong people, that your heart would remain pure, that your faith would remain unshakable. You were not being punished, you were being prepared. Many people crumble under pressure, but you endured. Many people compromise their values when the trials become too much, but you stood firm. Many people turn away from God when the answers do not come fast enough, but you remained faithful. That is why you have been chosen. That is why God has placed His favor upon you. Not because you are perfect, but because you were willing to trust Him, willing to wait on Him, willing to walk the difficult path instead of taking the easy road. And now, you are stepping into the season where the reward for your endurance begins to manifest. This is not just a moment of recognition, it is a moment of transformation. You will not walk the same, talk the same, or think the same. The trials that once seemed like they were breaking you were actually shaping you into the person God always intended you to be. You are stronger now, wiser now, more prepared than ever before. And that is why God has chosen you to carry His light into the world. But being chosen is not just about receiving, it is about responsibility. This is not the end of your journey. It is the beginning of a new chapter. You are not just chosen for yourself. You are chosen to be an example, a leader, a guide for those who are still lost. God did not bring you through the fire for you to keep your wisdom to yourself. He did not give you strength just for your own survival. He gave it so that you can help others rise. You carry something powerful within you, something the world needs, something that cannot be hidden. It is time to embrace this calling fully. No more shrinking back, no more doubting whether you are worthy, no more questioning why you were chosen. You have been set apart for a reason, and now it is time to walk boldly in that purpose. There is work to do. There are people who need your wisdom, your encouragement, your light. There are battles to be fought, victories to be won, and lives to be transformed. And God has entrusted you with this mission because He knows you will not fail. The moment you were chosen, the enemy took notice. Do not be surprised if opposition increases, if attacks come from unexpected places, if people who once stood by you begin to turn away. When God elevates you, it makes some people uncomfortable. Your presence alone will convict those who are not ready to face their own shortcomings. Your growth will expose those who have been content with staying the same. Your favor will trigger those who cannot understand why God chose you instead of them. But do not let this distract you. Do not let this shake you. The enemy only attacks what he sees as a threat, and your calling is a threat to darkness. Your anointing is a threat to those who operate in deception. Your presence is a reminder that God is in control, and that terrifies those who thrive in chaos. You do not need to fight every battle. You do not need to defend yourself against every attack. God has already gone before you. He has already put protection around you. He has already prepared a table for you in the presence of those who doubt you. This is the season where you must stand firm. Do not let fear creep in. Do not let negativity distract you. Do not let the opinions of others cause you to second-guess what God has already confirmed. You are chosen, and nothing can change that. No lie, no attack, no opposition can undo what God has set in motion. The only thing that can stop you now is doubt, and you must not give it any space in your mind or heart. The world is watching. Some are watching in admiration, others in disbelief, and some in envy. But none of that matters. What matters is that you keep your focus on the one who chose you. What matters is that you stay true to the purpose you have been given. What matters is that you do not shrink to make others comfortable. Do not hide your light to avoid confrontation. Do not step back when God is calling you forward. You did not go through everything you have endured just to stay silent now. You did not survive the storm just to sit in the shadows. You were chosen for a reason. You were positioned for a purpose. And nothing can stop what God has ordained. The path ahead will not always be easy, but it is blessed. It is protected. It is covered by divine favor. Walk in it boldly, knowing that you are exactly where you are meant to be. There is a new season ahead of you, one filled with blessings, but also with responsibility. Being chosen by God is not just a gift. It is a calling. It is an assignment. It is a role that requires you to be intentional about how you live, how you speak, how you move in this world. You were not chosen to remain the same. You were chosen to be a light, a guide, a living testimony of what God can do when someone surrenders fully to Him. This means your life is no longer just about you. Your blessings are not just for your personal enjoyment. Your wisdom is not meant to be kept to yourself. You have been given something that must be shared, a message, an example, a presence that carries divine influence. Everywhere you go, people will be impacted by your energy, your words, your actions. Whether you realize it or not, you will inspire others to seek God, to trust Him, to believe that they too can overcome. You must carry yourself with awareness. You must understand that your presence is powerful. You cannot operate the way you used to, because you are no longer the person you used to be. The old version of you had to go through the fire, had to be tested, had to be refined. But now, the version of you standing here today is ready for something greater. This means you must move differently, think differently, speak differently. You must make choices that align with where God is taking you, not where you have been. But as you step into this new level, know this: not everyone will celebrate you. Not everyone will understand what is happening in your life. Some will resist your growth because it forces them to confront their own stagnation. Some will try to pull you back into old habits, old conversations, old environments that no longer serve you. Some will try to test your patience, provoke your spirit, make you second-guess yourself. And you must be prepared for this. When you are chosen, you become a target. Not because you have done anything wrong, but because your very existence threatens those who are not walking in alignment with God's plan. Your success will make some uncomfortable. Your transformation will make some uneasy. Your favor will make some jealous. But you must not shrink yourself to make them feel better. You must not lower your vibration to match their negativity. You must not let their words shake what God has already confirmed in you. Instead, you must keep your focus. You must stay rooted in prayer, in wisdom, in discernment. You must continue to seek God first in all that you do. The distractions will come, but you must not entertain them. The tests will come, but you must not fail them. You have already proven that you are ready, and now it is time to walk in that readiness with confidence. You have something that cannot be imitated, something that cannot be duplicated. You have God's hand upon your life, and that is more powerful than any opposition you will ever face. The enemy may try to throw obstacles in your path, but he cannot stop what God has ordained. People may try to misunderstand you, misrepresent you, or undermine you, but they cannot cancel what God has already confirmed. The only thing that can stop you now is your own doubt, and you must not let it win. Stay humble, but stay strong. Do not let pride take over, but do not let insecurity hold you back either. You have been chosen, not because you are perfect, but because you were willing. Willing to trust, willing to obey, willing to keep moving forward even when the road was uncertain. That willingness is what set you apart, and it is what will continue to elevate you. This is a time to walk with boldness, a time to embrace who you have become, a time to fully step into your divine purpose without hesitation. God has already gone before you. He has already prepared the way. He has already secured your victory. All that is left for you to do is walk in it. You did not come this far just to stop now. You did not endure everything you have faced just to hesitate when it is time to rise. You are chosen, you are favored, you are ready. Walk forward with your head high, your faith unshaken, and your heart full of gratitude. The best is not behind you. The best is unfolding right now.